This is a test. I don't like it because you want to know why? That. See that? The screen reflecting off my glasses. I have to get one of those round lights, Try that and do that. I really thought that this new laptop would have a much better camera than my previous laptop, my previous old shitty laptop, but not really. Am I gonna have to get a serviceable camera? Is that what I'm gonna have to do? This shitty content is making shitty content is far too difficult. I hope you like my wonderful surroundings. I'm still in the basement. The broadcast palace is on hiatus because that's really fucked up. It's a giant fuck up. But you can see my shitty notes here, shitty outline for a book I'm trying to write about a guy who works at a website that sells furniture. Weird, huh? It's not autobiographical at all. Seriously, it's really not. Anyways, wanted to try this out just because YouTube is a decent medium. I'm a horrifically ugly old man, so hopefully that will lead to some viewership. But just trying this out. And what I think I'm gonna do is kind of like record myself doing a segment of the actual podcast. I don't really see the value in that, but if this is really just a test to see how this goes. So let's try that. Let's put you on pause for a minute, and I'll be back. Thanks. Bye. All right. I'm back. What I really had to do was two things. I had to go and take a leak, and then I had to set up this horrible YouTube experiment that I'm doing on the YouTube page, which is youtube.com slash complaints and observations. Probably, not even 100% sure. But there'll be a link to that on the Instagram page. You can link in the bio. Dummy. Um, but listen, the second part of this about the show was uh, just something that quite frankly I find unbearably disgusting. So previously I talked about the kids who were sitting on the floor at Madison Square Garden. Even worse, at least in my opinion, sitting across from me. I was sitting at the end of a row, and then across from me was an older gentleman. I would say he was probably late 40s, early 50s. Older because he's older than me. He's almost 50. This fucking guy shows up to the show, right? In flip flops, and then proceeds almost immediately to remove said flip flops and is standing barefoot throughout the entirety of what amounted to about 4 hours from, pre show when, they told everybody to get there early because they're going to be checking everything. They fucking checked nothing. It's like, oh, hey, you need to be vaccinated to get in. The cursory glance of the vaccination card is not checking to see if somebody is actually vaccinated. It was unbearably, unbearable is not the right word. Unbelievable is probably a good way. Unbelievably lax. Unbelievably lax. So they made a big deal out of it. The 8 people that were protesting outside of the garden made a big deal out of it, but ultimately, in the end, you could have showed them a fucking flashcard from your kids' like ABC cards or some shit, and you probably would have got in without a problem. But anyways, this mental midget sitting across from me, or standing across from me, with no shoes on. I can't for the life of me figure out the people who think it's somehow acceptable to be barefoot in public. Okay? It happens at shows all the time in the summer. There was a guy at Pearl Jam sitting in front of me at Fenway Park. Another filthy, disgusting place, standing there barefoot. It's like, what are we doing? There was another time I was in Vegas, which, listen, the number of diseases floating around Las Vegas, probably numbers in the hundreds, if I had to guess. Okay, I'm at a Starbucks inside a casino, and there's a guy walking around with no shoes on. What are we doing here? Honestly, I don't know why I took my glasses off. I have these horrible bags under my eyes that is from not sleeping. And so when I take my glasses off, it's like, look at these bags, man. They make you look even older than you are. But this guy, and the other problem is, I wish I knew what he was saying to the usher. But there was a guy who was an usher, seemed like a decent enough guy, but the kind of guy who was probably kind of pissed off that he's had the last however many months off from dealing with these fucking idiots, and now this guy is asking him questions, and the usher is telling him no. The barefoot man is seemingly upset for some weird fucking reason. But yeah, just barefoot it shows. I hope he gets ringworm. I hope it teaches him a fucking lesson that you can't do that. Like in an actual rational society, you need to put shoes in your feet. If you're not at home or at the beach, shoes in your feet. When you go to a convenience store, every convenience store on earth has a fucking sign: no shirt, no shoes, no service. It should say the same thing on the front door at Madison Square Garden. Keep your fucking shoes on, you goddamn mongrel. It made me so like irrationally annoyed. I'll use that term again because I can't. I just simply do not understand. Uh, the reason behind it. Like, what's the point? What is the actual point of standing there with your shoes on? The other thing that kills me, right? So I'm wearing sneakers, wearing Sperry's, right? And I'm literally sticking to the fucking floor at times. Sticking to the floor. And every time I moved my foot and, picked up my sticky shoe, all I'm thinking is that fucking guy over there is standing there with no shoes on. And I bet this fucking sick fuck went back to his hotel or his house or whatever and just went right to bed. Didn't wash his feet, nothing. Because he's that kind of fucking guy. Anybody that stands at Madison Square Garden with no shoes on for hours on end does not care about hygiene at all. At all. It was disgusting. It made me angry, as evidenced by me pointing at the camera with a pen. Because I'm recording this for the YouTube. Why? I don't fucking know. I don't know what I'm doing. The other thing that got me, Dave Grohl, very little gray hair. So either he's aging very, very well, or there's a serious dye job going on there. I do think he's a little thin at the top, because there are a couple of instances in some videos that I took where I'm seeing him turn around and he's facing Taylor Hawkins, and I'm like, ooh, that looks a little shiny on the top, David. Little Grecian formula up top there, buddy. Give that a shot. Maybe have your hairdresser dye that space for you. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. I shouldn't say that. He seems like a great guy. Nice fella. Funny. He's allegedly a West Ham fan. I don't know how accurate that is, but, anyways. What else? I have, literally a handful of dumb things to talk about. So, stick around.